Lindsay, shaman integration coach here, and I wanted to talk today about the subconscious versus the ego and our higher self. So, some of these terms. So, the subconscious, like something. I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact statistic, but it's something in the 90-ish percentile of our mind is operating at on a subconscious level. It's only like about 10% of our brain is operating in the conscious. And the subconscious is where we have our creations. We also have it's our autopilot. So if there's some outdated programming, some kind of mask or identity that you used that helped you survive in your life as a child, or even a young adult, could still be playing out to this day. And it's something that served you once, but isn't serving you now in your new identity. So as we grow and we shift our identities, these old programming, these old identities get stuck into our brain without us even being aware that they're there. And you can hear different negative self-talk, negative limiting beliefs that come up. If, like, let's say you think to yourself, I attract money so easily, it just flows into my life. And as soon as you say that, in your head you hear, no, you don't. Remember yesterday where you actually lost $100 and you couldn't even find it? And 3 days ago you bought some $30 thing off Amazon you didn't even need? No, you can't. No, money doesn't flow to you. In fact, you just squander money. That's not true. That's not your higher self talking. That's your ego, and it's serving a purpose. It's not a bad thing. It's not what you want right now, but it's not a bad thing. It was a protection that you used that helped you survive at one time in your life. When you were a child, when you were an adult, when you were in a scary situation, and your awareness wasn't what it is today, you did the best you could. And guess what? That helped. And so your ego thinks to itself, okay, well, that helped that time. I'm having those feelings right at this moment. That's going to help me now. But now you're 20, 30, 40 years older. You're much wiser. You have a lot more experience. And you're just a totally different person than you were even a month ago. You know, we have these identities that we are wanting to be, and we have identities that we are being now, and those are our old identities. And it can be really hard to shed the old when you have an outdated program running in the back of your mind. You know, think about a computer, and let's take a MacBook, because the hardware part can last quite a long time. But let's say you bought it, 10, 15 years ago, and you're using the software from that. And now here we are 20 years later, and you're running on outdated software. Well, that's not the best, the fastest, the most memory, the strongest. That's the same in your brain. Your brain can be stuck in programming from 20 years ago, and you are not that person anymore. You are stronger. You are wiser. You have much more life experience, more confidence. So that's where, when you're trying to shift identities to a higher identity, it can be really hard to do when you're especially doing it by yourself, because you don't even know the programming running in the back of your mind keeping you stuck. That's what's keeping you stuck. That's where you feel this lack in your life. That's where you keep getting into these patterns of the same relationships with the same person, even though it's different people. It's like the same person that is, the same challenges come up even. It's coming up for you to heal. It's coming up for you to evolve. We're evolving now on a conscious level. We are evolving our consciousness from what we were to something totally higher. And as we are growing as a collective and evolving our consciousness, we are shedding these old identities. And when we do, that's when we can really just eat. It just is like, it's automatic in your daily life where you're making the choices of that higher identity once you've shed the old. But the old is going to keep trying to pull you back. The old is going to start knocking on your door just when it gets good. And next thing you know, you're knocked off your feet again. And you're like, I'm right back there again. What is happening? That can be so challenging and frustrating. But that's where a coach really can help out a lot. Because when you're in those moments, you need someone detached fully and completely to help you unattach. It's easy to get attached. It's an old story. You've worked on it for 20 plus years sometimes. And it's hard to break that by yourself in a healing session or a meditation or just a experience of, it's just hard. It's hard to do that. So if you want to go deeper, if you want to break free of your old identity for good, if you want to step fully into that new identity, then book a call with me. It's free. Don't let your ego mind talk you out of it, because it's free. You have nothing to lose. We'll see if we're a good fit together, and I'll give you a roadmap that you can use to help bring awareness to where in your life that you want to change and how to make those changes. And that's all. If you want to be that person, that you want to be, it's right around the corner, and we can do it super fast together. So book a free discovery call with me today. The link is below. And how about deciding and putting that first step forward and truly shifting your identity at warp speed? So keep smiling brightly and shining brightly, and take care.